I'll never forget the amount of people that walked into that little room, that little tiny, like 8x8 room in the clinic, and they just kept filling in, and I kept thinking to myself, whoa, like, stop. It was a scary thought of all of those people coming in, and by the time I left that room, I realized that those people were my team. And that was a really, really good feeling to know I had a lot of people on my team. And I walked into that room thinking that my child was going to die, and I walked out of it feeling like there was a plan and that they were going to save her.
This is my fight song.
Hi, I'm KxXy, and I'm 14 years old.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm Casey's mom. We got a phone call on a Sunday night at a soccer field to tell us that pathology results came back and Casey had cancer. We didn't realize they were looking for cancer, so it was a complete shock to us. They told us to be at the hospital first thing Monday morning to start chemotherapy and radiation, and we arrived not knowing what we were in for. The oncologist came in with, I'll never forget, with a whole bunch of people, and we're in this tiny little room, and I kept thinking, how many people can fit in this room? And in my mind, I thought, well, we'll do this radiation and chemotherapy, and Christmas will come, and school will go back in January, and we'll get it over and done with, and we'll be good to go. And when the doctor told us it was 42 weeks, I remember thinking, how can you do this? How can you do 42 weeks of chemotherapy? It was shocking.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
Rady Hospital becomes your family in your year of treatment. You don't realize it that very first day of diagnosis in that room that you're actually going to really be leaving your life behind. And they become your friends. They become your support system. They become your entertainment. I mean, you don't go out anymore. You keep your child at home because she's immune compromised. So you walk into the hospital and they hug you, and they genuinely want to know how you've been and who you are and what you've been doing, and they become your friend and your support system, 100%.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like I'm getting back to my normal life that I had before. It's a little bit different, but it feels good to get away from all the chemo and the hospital. I'm just doing really good. I love Rady's hospital. All the nurses and all the doctors, they do so many things that make you feel so comfortable there. They treat you like you're their best friend. And the nurses at clinic and inpatient, they get me everything I need. And when I'm sick, they make me feel better.
But they got it going on.
Call right now, 1-800-258-0007. It's the final 20 minutes. 1-800-258-0007. And I love that our final guest is Casey. And here's why. Because she's beating cancer. And I love what it says about her. Casey beat cancer. Losing was not an option. Losing was not an option.
That's awesome.
And that's her motto in life, right, Mom?
Yes, it is.
And tell us about your daughter.
Casey was diagnosed one month after her 13th birthday with a very rare and aggressive cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. She had a tumor in her sinus cavity. They originally thought it was a sinus infection, and 12 days later she was diagnosed with cancer. Immediately the next day started treatment. She underwent 42 weeks of intensive chemotherapy, 33 sessions of radiation. It's a very aggressive cancer. It doesn't like to play by the books. It doesn't like to respond to chemotherapy sometimes, and it likes to relapse. So she was really lucky that it responded, and after 42 weeks she was declared cancer-free.
All right.
You know, she's got a fighting spirit, this girl, and we're going to talk about you right now, like you're not sitting right here. But
and you're 15.
You actually, though, I read something that, as a parent, like really touched my heart in a way that I think every other parent does. You said that you would swap with Casey in a heartbeat when you heard about her diagnosis, and you would exchange
Dad said that.
Dad said
your
that.
life for hers. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, for sure. And I think most parents would.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you can't do that. So you've got to do the next best thing, and just support them through their journey.
And Casey's here along with her sister Caitlin.
Caitlin,
So the whole family gets support here.
Caitlin, how old are you?
I'm 12.
So that's your big sister over there, and you're smiling, and you're proud of your sister. What do you think of when you hear people talk about Casey and hear all these good things about her?
I'm just glad that she's my sister and that she's such a strong and amazing person.
Do you guys ever fight?
Yeah, we fight
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's all going to be forgotten someday. You're going to be the best of friends. Right now, it's just what kids do. But so you were what, in 7th grade?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's a super strong, another athlete, Tommy. You're a soccer player too,
Yes.
right? And so you stayed active really throughout this whole thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So every morning I would get up at 6 o'clock with my dad, and we had a gym in our garage. And I would get up and go work out and walk on the treadmill and do resistance band exercises.
Because it was not an option.
Yeah, and the chemotherapy that I received is known for neuropathy, which is damage in the nerves of the feet and the legs. And so by working out, I kept myself strong during treatment so that I was able to fight the chemotherapy that was going into my body as well as fight the cancer.
Because a lot of people have as much trouble with the treatment as they do with the disease itself,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
definitely.
did you ever lose sensation like that?
I got a couple of symptoms of it, like a little bit of tingling in the fingers and pain in the feet and toes, but most of it was kept off by the working out.
So when you're in 7th grade, I mean, it's so hard. Everybody just kind of wants to be accepted, and you never want to be different than anybody else. I mean, what did you tell your friends? Did people treat you different when they heard about your cancer? What did you say to people?
I mean, definitely. I remember the night that I called up my friends and told them that I had cancer. I mean, we were all 12, 13 at the time. I'd never gone through something like this, let alone they'd never gone through something like this, having to hear that their best friend is diagnosed with cancer and may or may not die. It was a really hard experience having to tell your friends that you have cancer.
But now they have a friend in you that beat cancer.
Yeah.
Losing is not an option. So you inspire them, and you're inspiring so many people right now listening.
Yeah.
And that's so cool that you're the final guest.
Yeah.
And we have 16 more minutes to go to the top of the hour. For Casey, you need to call. You need to be a hero for Casey. And we need to update that number. I know I'm hearing the phone ringing and all that, so we should update that number.
Yeah.
Because our goal originally was to get 31 heroes. And we need to call. We need you to call 1-800-258-0007 as we get to know Casey. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a trauma surgeon.
Once again, see?
And you can be.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because you were 12, 13 telling your friends you had cancer.
Yeah.
And you faced adversity and looked at cancer straight in the eye and you beat it. That means in life you can do anything you want.
Definitely.
And when I told your mom that I love that sentence, losing was not an option, she shook her head and said, yeah, that's her motto in life.
Yeah.
Losing is not an option, so you can do anything you want. And
Thank you.
and I just met you, but I'm proud of you, and I'm just so glad you're our final guest because you're inspiring people to call, and you need to call right now for Casey. Be that hero. The last remaining 14 minutes. 1-800-258-0007.
You must be, Susan, so inspired by your daughter. I mean, she is just, her spirit is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that we hear from a lot of parents, too, is that you see how fast their kids have to grow up when they're just little kids and they have to deal with stuff like this. I mean, she really has dealt with it so
Yes.
well. But,
Yeah.
I mean, are you just knocked out by
her strength, her sheer will to survive was absolutely mind blowing. She she had this drive and a will. She's always had the drive, but when she was diagnosed, she had a drive and a will to survive that I think had to come from within her. And I'm very proud of her.
And also the help that they've given also to Caitlin, too. I mean, I know that they support the siblings of the kids that are here in the hospital, too, and they support the parents. Those are all the special programs we're talking about helping to support with those dollars.
Child Life was amazing. When Casey was first diagnosed, Child Life came and took Caitlin away. And, Caitlin had questions that Caitlin wanted to know if Casey was going to die. And to ask us that, we kind of yelled at her and said, why would you say that? But, she needed to be able to ask those questions. Yes. And Child Life gave her the opportunity to ask those hard questions that she needed answered. And
we talked to a woman here who she was an actual nurse and didn't even know how to tell her daughter about cancer.
She was Casey's nurse. Kelly was Casey's primary nurse.
Oh, and she's amazing. She talked exactly about how those people come in and they know exactly what to say, to speak to a child of a certain age and put it in. They want the truth, but they want it in a way that they can understand it and accept it.
And it's hard for a teenager because she's old enough to Google stuff and read it on her own.
They know everything.
So we had to be completely honest with Casey. And
And I know a lot of people are in their cars going, where are they from? Where's that accent from? Where are you guys from?
We're from New Zealand.
Yeah. But your home is in San Diego.
And so thankful we're here because I think had we been in New Zealand, Casey would not have survived. She survived because we were here at Rady Children's Hospital.
And a lot of people kind of take that for granted. They don't understand how amazing this hospital is, and this isn't just something that's found in every city. You would have flown from New Zealand, though, to get her the care to come here. Yeah. And we've talked to people today and yesterday that have done just that, have come very, very far for these doctors.
I think the reason she was diagnosed so quickly is because it's a community here. You have the ENT doctor here, you have the oncology here, so they're all conversing with each other quickly.
Yes, they're a team, and they're on Team KxXy. We're on Team KxXy, too. Hey, KxXy, why don't you tell everybody listening right now why they need to call? Because you never know. Hopefully it's not going to happen to your child, but, talk to the other parents and kids that are listening right now. Why should somebody call and donate? We only need 8 more heroes.
Yeah, just 8 more to go. 8 more to go. So as you listen to Casey, call that number, 1-800-258-0007.
In your life, anything can happen. You don't know if tomorrow is going to be the day that your life is ripped out from under you like mine was. You never know if cancer or any other illness, in fact, can affect your child or yourself at any given moment. So you really need to support the things that are out there like Rady Children's Hospital, because you never know when you or your child could be a patient in the hospital.
She is such a beautiful and well-spoken young lady. It's hard to believe that you're only 15.
I felt like she was running for ASB president right there.
I vote yes, and I think that, yes, you are going to do anything that you set your mind to, and you just really inspire us. So, again, say that number again. Let's get those phones ringing, because they're not ringing right now. We need them to ring immediately.
I hear it ringing.
1-800-258-0007.
And remember, Kiwanis is matching your dollars right now. We only need 8 more heroes. That's only $19 a month to be a hero. Tommy's a hero. I'm a hero. You should be a hero, too.
There's
it feels really good. There we go. Let's get all the people that are on the phones right now busy. Remember, we got our superheroes over there. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? Get over there and answer that phone. Get back in there and answer that phone.
Hey, how about this? We have less than 8 more heroes to go. We have 10 more minutes to get to 7 o'clock. That's when it ends. How about if we play a quick Christmas song and then come back and hopefully that 8 will be 0.
Let's do it.
All right. 1-800-258-0007. Let's give it up for Casey.